that'll make you faint on sight. But she looks like trouble, her lips so kissable.
Oh, oh. Hello! Wow. Hello, MCM Birmingham! You have an amazing beard. I'm just pointing that out. I'm not hitting on you yet, but that is an amazing beard. Come here. You can. Come. I'm just kidding. Do it. Let's try this. Who wants some swag? Okay, you can have one. The lovely people across there, God, I'm terrible, have give us loads of lollies to give away. There you go, Cap. There you go. Now be quiet. Who else wants a lolly from Cross? Hi. You got at least wave it is. It's nuts. It's called being polite. That's a joke. Were you not coming to see me? It's going to cost you a high five, though. Can I get a high five at least? Oh, there we go. You know what? Because you're cool, you have two. Right, there we go. Sorry, joker, I took your lolly. What can I do? Why so serious? I'm only joking. That should have got at least a... No one asked you, Eddie. There you go. There's a lolly. Who wants a Mr. Bean? I've got beans and lollies, ladies and gentlemen. Only at the buzz stage, beans and lollies. So Nelly said lorries there. Who wants a Mr. Bean? And it's not a tin of beans, it's an actual Mr. Bean. Go on then, Trev. There you go. Who wants a Mr. Bean? You want a Mr. Bean? You want a Mr. Bean? You've already got one. Don't be greedy. I remember who wants a Mr. Bean. Yes, can I help you, sir? You'd like a Mr. Bean, CJ? What's the magic word? There you go. Some people are so rude at Comic-Con. So rude. Who loves cosplay? Who likes having the photo taken? You vain people. You know what? Because you're all vain, should we take a selfie? You know what? Because I keep forgetting I never take photos of myself. Surprising, I know. Are we all ready for a selfie here? All ready? I'm going to do it twice. I'll get this side. You ready for a selfie? Ready for a selfie? Helps us get in it. There we go. Right, that's my dartboard sorted. Thank you very much for that. Who else wants a Mr. Bean? You've got to try and catch it. Yeah, you know, I'm not going to... Go on, Eddie. Make yourself... Mr. Bean, last Mr. Bean for now. Mr. I should be on storage hunt. What's the last Bean? You know what I want? Come here. Because your wig is so pretty. What's your cuddly toy called? Lion. Wow, that was original. What I'm going to do, the PC box sent me giant boxes at home. I had to drive here. I couldn't even put my own suitcase in, hence why I'm dressed so scruffily. They sent me, I think it was about 30 boxes to give away over 2 days. So I've got some Z boxes to give away, and I want to give it away to cosplayers. Come on, you come up. But the thing is, I'm going to be mean. I'm going to make you work. Work, 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 work. Have one more cosplay. You know what? Yeah, come on, Shiny. You can do. Come on, Shiny as well. Yeah. From Ruby. Right. I want you to do your best Arnie impression going, I'll be back. Okay? And then you guys are going to vote. And then we're going to have food and cosplay on the stage talking about cosplay and photography. Are you ready to do your best I'll be back?
Yow, I'll be back, yow.
Yow, we're very good. Now, see, I can't do it. Right, and next one.
I'll be back.
Do you need a soother? Because I've got some soothers in my bag there. And the final one. Don't let me down here.
It's not going to happen. I'll be back. You ready? I'll be back.
Yeah, you might as well sit down. Right, so. No, I know what, it's fine, okay? I'm not that mean. Right, if you think number 1. If you think number 2. Number 2 for the sympathy. You have one like, but still. You know what? Because I felt so bad because no one should have a Mr. Bean. There you go. But you get a Z box instead. There you go. Big round of applause for the both of them. Not her. No problem. Don't have to thank me. So if you cosplay, make sure you stick around here during the day. We are going to be giving some awesome prizes throughout. We've got prizes from Pozu coming up. We have prizes from Cross. We have prizes from Tokyo Toys. We have prizes from A-Box. I'm going through the list in my head. We've got a lot of prizes to give away because it's the last con of the year. It's the last con of the year. Yeah. Should we make the guy feel bad, why don't you? Stood there. Do you want to talk about cosplay and photography? Come on then, you know you will get over with. This is Eddie from Food and Cosplay. Let's have a big cheer. You can grab that microphone there. Do you know how to use
this
it?
one?
Yeah, that one.
Oh, I expected like a Titatron music, everything. No?
No,
Oh.
no. For special guests.
Oh, thanks. I feel special.
I'm allowed to insult him because he's a friend. So if I'm really horrible to him, it's because he's not a nice person. So,
Hello.
food and cosplay.
Yes.
What's it about?
Well, I thought I'd go for 2 demographics of food and then cosplay.
That's such a... Did you not think of swapping it round and calling it cosplay and food?
No, I thought some idiot would get that one instead and it would never be popular.
That was me. There we go. But no.
Yes.
Why food and cosplay?
I was being uninventive. I started on Tumblr first and I kept seeing a load of food and...
You eat your food.
Yes.
That's enough. You want to see how you can have it?
No!
Come up here on Facebook.
I already own...
You're welcome. So, talk us through photography cosplay.
Well, what do you want to know?
Well, what's your starting point? How do you start off like? So you know you're going to a con.
Yeah.
So, for example, MCM Birmingham.
Yes.
What was your process getting ready to take photographs?
Well, I mean, to make sure that the camera at least wants to see some of my photos. That's shocking.
I think they're really good photos, don't you? Yeah?
So, no, I'm making sure I have help some naps on the run off.
Photographers sometimes scared as cosplayers,
Yes.
too scared as...
And even so, and then, but once you get in the rhythm, it's...
What do you mean, Jeff?
You can nice stance. I know, I demonstrate, I think I demonstrate a lot of my poses.
You look very good.
Thank you very much.
So what's some lethals we've got here?
So a poison ivy, that's an unworking shoot. That's a Gwenum, done new and that one is a PlayStation 4 Spider-Man, also done in new
Yeah, so you've got new book as well, so you travel around.
I travel with my own money, my own spare time, so no, this is not a glamorous lifestyle. I literally pay for this all from my own pocket. Nothing nonsense to me, much anywhere, so it's, it's my own time and my own money.
Now, always supporting like, a lot of photographers and videographers, people like that, and a lot of cosplay as well, export through Patreon and things like that.
Yes.
Do you have a Patreon or?
I do, it's not how they pay wallet, it's also all content on my page is free. I always have an ethos of keeping things as free as possible. There is a donation sheet, if you want to put them in through channel, I'll be very grateful through Patreon, Ko-fi. Even a PayPal donation, things like that. It all helps, if I'm honest.
Yeah, and you can buy some of the prints of your photos as well, because I've got 2 of them.
Yes, you do, which is...
There's the Spider-Gwen, which is lying on a wall. I think we've got that photo somewhere as well. We'll probably put that up in a second. And there's the one of... there we go.
But I've put up the Homecoming logo on the top, because it just... We
Have some food. And the hair blowing and...
Yes, sometimes when you see a situation appear, because I think she was doing something which made her hair flick a little bit. I went, oh, that's a great shot. Let's see if we can catch it. It's always good to have post shots, but also nice to have some spontaneous shots as well. Because if everything's too posed, it becomes a bit stale, and if there's no spontaneity, it just feels a bit very stagnated type of shoot.
Now, if someone was to start in photography, so if they come to the Comic-Cons, the one...
It's just every camera you can buy. People say, oh, what type of camera should I buy? Just what camera you can afford, because that is going to be the best camera you can afford, you can use. And it'll always be the best you can get. The things I always say, when I spoke to a lot of other photographers from them, such as use a rule third, perspective, bokeh effect, things like that. And then what you should use a bulk of information and tips and tricks to do things like that. So,
now, what have been some of your photographs that you don't have some of your favourites? This is one of them.
Yes, so again, it's just that spontaneity, scene situated floor, oh, let's get someone on the floor, we had a vision on the floor. And then someone went, oh, can we join in? So I've got them all laid like that. And yes, I could lay them out. In a row, but I thought, no, let's get them in a trifecta look, and that's the look we got. So I've got too many photos I like, which I can't I haven't got all day to go through them, unless you want me to.
No, we don't have all day.
No, damn it.
No, we don't. But just before we finish off as well, are you here taking photographs today?
No.
No.
No, I'm here all weekend, today and tomorrow. So if you ever see me, you want a photo taken, please to come up to me and ask for a photo. Because it's a two-way street. It takes courage for me to ask someone, but I can imagine it's courage for you to come up to me and ask for a photo. So please, don't feel afraid to go up to a photographer and say, oh, can you take a photo for me? That's it.
Well, I think, there we go. We're just having a look at some of the other photos here as well. That one's down in, is that London?
That's London,
MCM
yes.
London?
Yes, that's MCM London on a bridge. If I'm honest, that wasn't as dark as it looks. I had to play with that a lot. So I had to edit quite a bit just to make it look like it's a sunset.
Yeah, so the editing process as well is quite important as well.
Yeah, very, very important, yes.
Yeah, but I think we need to say a big thank you to Eddie from Food and Cosplay. Make sure you check him out on Facebook, Twitter and Patreon. And I'm sure if you see him wandering around the con, you can ask him for bits of advice.
Oh, look, I love this picture.
Oh. Has anyone seen Ruby? These two here made me watch a show, and I loved one of the characters, and they sat and watched me when the character was killed.
Spoiler.
Not the TV show, they watched me. And thanks. And this is what happened to the character at the end. It turned into dust. So he thought he'd take this photo specially of the cosplayer as the dust.
To be fair, that's dirt, not dust.
Spoilers. But no, seriously, Eddie's absolutely brilliant. There's loads of photographers around the con as well. So if you spot them, just ask nicely, and who knows, they might take your photograph and things like that. But let's again have a huge round of applause for Eddie from Food and Cosplay.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Won't be good for me, but I don't care, 'cause I know it's nowhere. Not me to get a chance with a girl like her. I won't waste that chance. 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 She got me like. Her looks eyes to play, come with a price. She's smiling, but that may just be a disguise. I wanna say hi, but I'm scared she'll kill me. Could we? Will we? Would she? Probably not. But I don't care, 'cause I know it's nowhere. Not me to get a chance with a girl like her. I won't waste that chance. 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 She got me low.
Hello, 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 hello. I love doing that. Hello, MCM Birmingham. Honestly, you didn't have to come all this way just to see me. Wow, what a reaction. Are you here to see Warwick by any chance? Well, if you don't cheer any better than that, he's not going to appear, is he? Are you here to see Warwick? Much better. Now, he is actually on his way right now. So, while we wait, who wants some swag? Well, I'm not going to bother giving away. Swag's free stuff. You don't have to pay. Who wants some swag? We're getting there. Who wants a Mr. Bean? You want a Mr. Bean? You can have a Mr. Bean. Now, you have to be able to catch them. You ready? There's a Mr. Bean. Do we have, right, can you catch? Are you ready? There's 2 of you, so I'm going to throw 2. You ready? Oh, you nearly dropped them. That would have been a lawsuit waiting to happen. Are you ready? Watch your heads. There we go. Who wants a lolly? From Cross, who wants a lolly? You really want a lolly? Do you really want a lolly? Come here then. All the little kids are like, me, guy in the background, me. So for that, you've got to come out and get embarrassed. There you go. There you go. You enjoy that. There you go. It's the big kids at Comic-Con we've got to love, isn't it? Who's the big kid at Comic-Con? Who's the little kid at Comic-Con? You're about mid-range, if I'm honest. You're like kind of about there. Who's a mid-range at Comic-Con? Who loves Harry Potter? Who loves Star Wars? Who wants a lolly? Oh my God. Where is the energy, people? Who hasn't had the breakfast? Yeah. Who wants a lolly for breakfast / dinner? You've already got stuff. You've got beans earlier. I recognize you. I never forget a face, you greedy things. Would you like a lolly? Come on then, you can have a lolly. Who's dressed up in cosplay? I like getting given stuff. Oh, come on then. Now, I don't want you going in a strop or anything like that, okay? There you go. Anyone else dressed up and you can have a lolly. Oh, go on then. Nanu. There we go. Right, last ones while we wait for work. Who wants a Mr. Bean? Hi, you all right? Lots of people waving, but I'm asking who wants a Mr. Bean. Who wants a Mr. Bean? Are you sure? Come here then. Go on then. There you go. Last Mr. Bean, who's ready for it? There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it. Warwick Davis. Yeah, all right. I do. Come on!
Good afternoon, everyone. Isn't this cozy? It's terrific. What's all this stuff here? What's all this?
It's all Star Wars
Star Wars stuff. Very appropriate, isn't it?
It is. You've got trainers behind you there, journals.
Trainers, yes, these are quite good, these. I'm still after a free pair. I haven't got any yet.
I'm sure we can... Well,
They're really good shoes, those, aren't they?
I'm going to speak to them.
They need a furry pair for Wicket, though, don't they?
They've got Chewbacca ones.
Yeah, well, that's not good enough. They're massive.
Should we get on the... Pozu make Wickets! there we go. That's them sorted.
Size 5. Excellent. Well, it's a pleasure to be here.
It's a pleasure.
Are you enjoying yourself?
I am. What about you?
I'm all right. Yeah, it's so busy. I haven't done this particular MCM for a little while, I don't think, and I can't remember firstly how busy it gets here, but also how great the people are. You people from this area are fantastically friendly, so thank you for all the nice things you've said about me, and it's been a pleasure to meet you all. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you have been really busy. Every time I've popped across, you've had queues. You're a very popular guy.
And it's lovely to be here with some of my Star Wars colleagues as well. Of course, Caroline Blakiston, who I haven't seen for many years, and Mr. Anthony Daniels is here as well. It's lovely to see him.
It's exciting times.
It is. What are you going to ask me then today?
Well,
what are we going to talk about?
Why don't we talk a bit about Star Wars?
Okay, that's a good start.
It's always a good start. So, how did Star Wars come about?
Oh, well, that's an old story. Who doesn't know this story? Oh, well, not many people don't know this. You don't know how this happened. Well, how old are you, sir?
How old?
8.
8?
You're 8. Well, I was 11, and my grandmother heard a radio commercial in which they were looking for short people to be in the new Star Wars film, Return of the Jedi. And she told my mum. My mum phoned the studios, and I was invited up to meet with a production assistant who said, yeah, you look about right for this. Do you like Star Wars? And I went, yeah. She said, do you want to play an Ewok? And I said, what's one of them? She said, well, go find out. You're going to get measured up for a costume, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks. That was it. And all that moment there has led to everything I've done since, including being here on this stage right now.
All started at age 11, eh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Scary. Now, will you be making any sort of cameos in future ones, anything like that?
Well, you know, it's a delight that we're making new Star Wars right now. You know, it's just fantastic, isn't it, that we're privileged to see these new Star Wars movies. I never thought we'd have Episode 7, 8, and 9. You know, it was always one of those things you kind of knew that George had created this bigger story, and we never thought we'd get to explore what happened beyond. I mean, initially, we didn't know we'd see the prequels, but then we didn't know we'd see what happens beyond. Yeah, it's a pleasure for me to be involved in The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, also Rogue One. I keep forgetting what we've done, and more recently, what we now call Solo.
Oh.
So, yes. It was nice to work with Ron again. I can't tell you anything about the film, obviously, but it was really great to see Ron Howard again, who I'd seen him, but I hadn't worked with him since we did Willow all those years ago in 1987.
Wow.
And it was interesting getting back on set with Ron again and having him direct. I could have been doing Willow all over again. It was like no time had passed at all. It was absolutely fantastic.
Very nostalgic.
It was nostalgic. That's a good word. Well done.
I try.
Well done. Yeah, it's good to be making Star Wars again, and I'm delighted with the films. It's exciting because I'm as much a fan of the films as many of you guys here. And so when I go to the studios and I see stuff, you know, some of it I don't want to see because I don't want it to spoil it for when I watch the movie. But then other things I see, I get completely excited about. Right now, I can't think what I can say and can't say. But there are things that are familiar within the Star Wars universe that we see, and you have already seen in films like Rogue One, that when you see them in real life, you get really excited to see them.
Have you seen any of The Last Jedi at all? Have you seen the film, or is that until
No, I haven't,
premiere?
no. I shall be seeing it at the premiere. It'll be very exciting to sit there. You know, because that film, we were working on that, I was working on it over a year ago now. Sort of early part of last year. So it's been a long time coming to this moment, but I shall sit there with great anticipation and excitement. And then, you know, when you watch a film at a premiere, it's not quite the same as when you go down to your local multiplex. So I will enjoy it at the premiere, but I'll then go and see it again after in a kind of a little bit more relaxed environment where I can kind of get loads of popcorn all over me and stuff. But you've got to look smart, you see, when you go to the premiere. So
could you not just wear the suit down the red carpet and then as soon as you get in, just get some joggers and a T-shirt and just sit there and go...
That'd be good, wouldn't it? That'd be better, wouldn't it? Absolutely. Is anyone going to some sort of all-night showing of the others and then going to... Are you doing that? What are you doing, all the films to date, or just like Force Awakens and then that one? Yeah. Some people are doing... In America, they're doing the whole thing. It's like, I mean, imagine that. How many films is that then? It's 6, 7, and then it would be the 8th film.
You'd have to start at like 10 in the morning, maybe?
And then at midnight on the night that it opens, you see The Last Jedi. Imagine that.
I'm seeing The Force Awakens in IMAX in 3D, then seeing the brand new one. I won't get home till 4 in the morning, then I'm getting up for 6 for work the next day. But you know what? It's Star Wars. We love Star Wars, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool.
But you know what the new thing you're going to love?
What?
You Genius.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm wearing a T-shirt of a show that I'm producing. Now and again, I kind of have other things that I do apart from acting, and I'm producing a brand new musical which opens in London on the 22nd of January. It's called You Genius. It's all original, 80s-inspired musical, and yeah, I'm really proud of the show. It's fantastic. Brilliant music written by Ben Adams, brilliant composer, written by Chris Wilkins, the show is, and yeah, we got a theatre. It's Andrew Lloyd Webber's new theatre in London. And yeah, the show goes on from January. So check it out. If you like musicals, then you'll love it. If you like superheroes, you'll love it. Because it's all about this guy called Eugene, okay, in America in the 80s. And he dreams of comic book heroes and this character called Tough Man, and he decides to write a comic. He wins a competition. They want to make a movie of his comic, but unbeknown to him, elsewhere in the galaxy, the things he writes about are actually transpiring for real. And then in Hollywood, the two worlds collide to very dramatic and comic effect. And it's all done to music, which is fantastic, obviously, because it's a musical. And it's very funny, it's very satirical. It's just, I fell in love with the project 3 years ago when I first heard one of the tracks. And it's brilliant. I've got some comics down here as well, which kind of tell you all about the musical. You can get tickets on offer. So at the end of my show, in a minute, when I stop talking, come and grab one of these. You can read about it. There's a piece from me in there, a little editorial in the style of Stan Lee, and you can get discounts off tickets as well, just for you guys here at MCM Comic Con. Very good. I'll see you there for sure.
Yeah, now you have some of the soundtracks available as well at your desk.
You can stream them and you can listen to some of the tracks. The 3 have been released so far on all your favourite platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, what are the other ones? Google Music.
iTunes,
what's that one called? I don't know what that one's called.
Spotify.
Yeah, I've said those two, basically.
They're all online.
Yeah, but the details are on the comic, so have a listen and see what you think and let me know.
Yeah, and we actually have some to give away later on today as well, and I believe they were signed by you in London.
Oh, they were, yes,
Yeah,
indeed.
so we're going to be giving some of those away later
Thank
on
you.
today as well.
Thank
but
you.
I think, because obviously Warwick's a very busy man, very
Let me
popular.
just say one more. That you're going to get rid of me now, aren't you? Were you about to do that?
I think you're about to head off.
Let me
yes.
just do 2 more things before
Go
you
for it.
What was I going to do? Oh, yes. If you're at a loose end in an afternoon, all right, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you know what I'm going to say. I've got a quiz show on ITV called Tenable. It's very exciting. And we do have film-related questions in there from time to time. So, yeah, Tenable, 3 p.m, ITV weekdays. It's a fun show. It's my show.
We'll check that out for definitely.
Have you not watched it yet? You should have
I
done your
haven't watched
research.
it.
I'm disappointed
If it's
in you.
3 o'clock, I'm at work.
I'm disappointed.
I'm sorry.
For those of you who've seen me at Comic Cons before, I normally come along with a company called The Signature Shop, which is my kind of film and TV memorabilia store. And we've just launched our brand new website as of like today. So check that out. It's at thesignaturesshop.com. .co.uk. I don't know why I said that. I'm in sort of American mode. Thesignaturesshop.co.uk. Yeah, check it out. And if you can remember this, there's a very special discount code I'm going to tell you now. The code is launch. If you put launch in on checkout, you get 10% off.
Wow.
That's from today. Check it out. See what you think. Let me know.
Yeah, but ladies and gentlemen, if you want to see Warwick, he is at the signature stands at the bottom there. Take the opportunity to go along, find out about Eugenius, and make sure you check that out in January. Ladies and gentlemen, Warwick Davis.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Comics are here in this box, so help yourselves. Thanks, everyone. Take care.
Hello. I always say it really. I don't say hello. I go hello. I love the fact you're copying this. You know what? We're gonna do it really loud. Hello. The things you do at Comic-Con. Hello, MCM Birmingham. Let's try that again. Hello, MCM Birmingham. Why are you here? Red Dwarf. It's Red Dwarf. No, it's not 1:15 already. The day's going by too fast, don't you think? Has everyone been shopping? No? Your beard, honestly, it's just the most epic beard I've seen in that seat. Now, before the guys from Red Dwarf get here, who would like to win some free swag? Let's try that again. Who wants some free swag? We're getting better, guys. We're getting better. Who would like a Mr. Bean? All right, Jodie Whittaker, calm down. That is impressive you managed to do that so fast, by the way. That is brilliant. You know what? You can have a Mr. Bean for that. Come here. Come here. How impressive. Who likes Doctor Who? Did everyone see the new... Look at this. Come on stage. How fast a turnaround to pull that off. Isn't that amazing? Well done. There you go. There's a Mr. Bean. Just remember who likes you. My puns get worse. Don't you worry. Right, who wants a Mr. Bean? Oh, well, if Iron Man and Elsa... Is that Elsa there or is that Cinderella? I can't tell by the colour. Elsa. I thought it's Elsa. There you go, Iron Man. There you go, Elsa. There you go. And just because you've got a Big Bang Theory top on, there you go. You can have one. No one seems to want a Mr. Bean. Does anyone want some sweets? Who wants some lollies from Cross? Hi, you all right? I love it how many people are like waving at us like, notice me. Notice me, give me a lolly. You know what, who's dressed up? I like to give it to people who are dressed up. Do you want a lolly as well? Just because you're so cute. There you go. I apologize for the teeth. You know what that is. Who wants a lolly and who's dressed up? Well, that's just strange. Yeah. That is great. There you go. I love it when people get into character. It's like, yeah, look at my magical powers. Who else is dressed up and wants a lolly? All right, Belle. I see you sat next to Beast there. I'm not seeing which one, mind, so you can work that out yourselves. But there you go. There's a lolly. Lovely. Do you know this microphone's alive? Yeah? Poor guy's getting spit on him all day. It's horrible. Who else wants a lolly? Hi, Holly. All right. Oh, you want the lolly? All right, that's fair enough, I suppose. You know what? These are the last three I'm going to give out. I'll give you some red ones. Here we go. Right. Last three lollies. So you've really got to convince me that you deserve these lollies. Can you give that to Harley Quinn there? Yeah, it's called a wig. You know, don't need to point it out. It's rude. There you go. You can have that one as well. Right, last lolly. Who wants a lolly? You've got a sword. Well, I wouldn't lick that because you'll probably cut your tongue. All right, don't have to threaten us. Come here, come here. On guard. No, she just wants to lolly. No, if you're not going to play with us, fair enough. Spoiled all my fun there. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you don't want to hear from me anymore, but you're going to have to. But more importantly, it is Chris, Danny, and Robert from Red Dwarf. All right. All right. How you doing? Hello, sir. All right. Hello. Come on, guys. Big cheer. There's just microphones to your sides there. Just help yourselves.
You got your mic.
We've all got our microphones there.
That's a very comfy sofa.
Oh, very comfy indeed. I'm happy now.
It's like being at the old people's home.
It reminds me of the day room at the old people's home.
Yeah, have a nice cup of tea.
Yeah, but that
Would you just like a cup of tea?
a dippy bicky would be very nice.
Cup of tea would go down well, actually. Yeah, it would.
I don't think I've got any. I've got some lollies. Do you want some lollies?
I'm good.
Oh, no, we were okay.
What ones are they?
They're just hard candy ones. Would you like a lolly? Yeah, you can have a lolly.
I'll have a lolly.
You all want them?
No. There you go, Dan.
Yeah,
Dan, that's for you.
If you don't want them, what you can do, if you get anyone nice people at your stand, you can give them a lolly later on as well.
A little present.
There you go. And you can have a second one because you want one for yourself. There you go. There you go. Flattery gets you everywhere, ladies and gentlemen. How are we doing, guys?
Good, thank you.
Very good, thank you.
All good? How's your day been so far?
Busy.
We've been very busy this morning, and then we did lots of lovely pictures, and then we did. What have we done? Something
You were late.
I was late. I was very late.
Yeah, but busy, yeah.
Yeah.
So you've been to a lot of Comic Cons and lots of different events in regards to Red Dwarf. So you get probably asked the same questions over and over and over again. So I want to know, what are the worst questions you've ever been asked by panelists or people coming to visit you that you've been asked at Comic Cons? What are some of the worst ones?
What's your favourite episode? Is the one. It's very hard to answer, but I think the best one I've ever had was with Craig in America, and a very young and very innocent-looking boy came out and said, "Excuse me, sirs, can you tell me what smeg means?" And that was difficult. That was quite difficult because people are very polite in America and they don't say rude words.
So how did you actually answer that, though?
We just crawled off the stage. We said, "Look in a dictionary. Ask your mum. Ask your dad." Yeah.
What about you, Danny? Oh, Chris. If you...
No, Chris. No, just technical questions about the plot.
Yeah.
Occasionally we get asked questions about that, and of course I haven't a clue. The one at Series 8, was it, when Rimmer kneed Death in the nuts? Sort of what happened after that, and I just sort of say, well, ask Doug.
Yes.
So if anyone's got that in mind, ask Doug.
When we've done question and answers with Doug there, we don't say anything. We just let Doug explain it.
It just means you can sit on a nice comfy sofa, really, doesn't
a nice
it?
comfy sofa with Doug.
Exactly.
Nice. Yeah.
What about you, Danny? Any weird questions you've been asked?
Yeah, when's the guy on the other stage going to shut up when Robert and Chris are talking?
Unbelievable, yes.
I bet you was all thinking that, weren't you? You didn't want to say it, did you? Shut up! No, it's quite funny. Timing is everything. No. Mine, it's the same, isn't it? You know, I think the hardest one is always, what's your best episode? What's your favourite episode? And it's just, for me, it's impossible to answer. So it looks like you don't want to answer.
Yeah.
But really, it's impossible. I mean, I could find an element in every single episode which could rank as, some of the best work I've ever done. So.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I would say to what's your favourite episode, there's about 3 or 4 that I would always use, although someone tends to say, hang on, but you said last time that Marooned was your favourite episode. But now you're saying Dimension Jump, so which is it? So you get people who are quite remember what you said
They
last
remember
time,
everything you say.
So try and give them a different answer.
The Red Dwarf community is very, very strong, and it's great as well that it's a new generation of Red Dwarf fans are coming in as well and watching the old episodes as well. What's that been like? Are you seeing younger people come to see you now and speak to you about the show?
We're on our 3rd generation of watcher.
Yeah, last year, I think it was, or maybe early this year, a woman came up who was roughly my age, roughly. And she had an H on her forehead, and she said, my family's really keen on, this is my daughter. And then a woman who was sort of the age of her daughter came up, and she said, we love Red Dwarf, brilliant. And then a younger woman came up, they all had H's on, and she said, we love it. So that's mother, daughter, granddaughter, and then pushchair comes around, there's a very small baby with an H on its forehead. 4 generations of women that were obsessed with Red Dwarf. I think the baby wasn't entirely sure why it had an H stuck on its forehead. But
and why it wasn't in the cardboard box under the pool table. Look, it's sinking in. That, you see, look.
But this morning I met some people and they said, and they had a picture that I signed from Series 3. I said, we did that in 1989, and they both, without any joke or anything, they said, we weren't born then.
Well, our co-producer wasn't born when we started Red Dwarf.
No.
Wow, but
I would get used to that, Bob.
I know, I'm
it ain't going to change anytime soon, I don't think, going forward.
Yeah, well, every show you come to, there's or every year, there's going to be a 10-year-old kid coming up, for an autograph or for a selfie or whatever. And so for 30 years, there's always been a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
And the next year, the 10. So that pretty much every year, there's a new generation, even though it's not generational. If you know
And
what I mean.
now Netflix as well. I mean, I met a lad this morning who'd watched the entire first 8 series on Netflix in one session.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's crazy.
Hours and hours.
See, I miss the good old days of Friday night, BBC 2, 9
Yeah.
p.m. Do
Yeah.
not interrupt me. It's Red Dwarf time.
yeah.
That was my generation. It's like Friday nights. I didn't have many friends, it seems. But I used to just sit at home, watch Red Dwarf on BBC 2, and it just was amazing. And it's amazing to see you guys are back again, isn't it? They keep coming back.
New characters, new suits, new waistlines.
You look just as good, though, I've got to say.
Well, yeah, no, some people did comment, and I think accurately, but slightly cruelly, that it looked like Crichton had downloaded one too many apps. Which I thought was a little bit unnecessary.
Yeah, apps short for apple pie.
Well, you've all kind of got a bit of a Crichton look just recently. What was that like, having all of that put on? Now you know how he feels every episode.
It was. I was ill on the first day we did that, but it was. It was like being in a prison of latex, and
Swimming in sweat.
Swimming in sweat, glue sniffing.
Yeah,
16
it's just,
hours a day. Not pleasant, actually.
We all got sick. I mean, we actually all got sick in that episode because it is quite strange because it was below zero outside.
Yeah.
So if you can imagine, we're in this warehouse sweating away, and as soon as they shout cut, you would just see 4 mechanoids running for the door to get some fresh air. And of course, the moment you went outside, all the sweat under your head turned to ice.
It was a perfect storm of Red Dwarf location filming with everyone in a Crichton mask. Sweat globules going down.
Yeah.
And then dry ice, sort of toxic,
Pretty unpleasant.
hot lights, as Danny said,
Mock
minus
fights.
6 outside, hanging around, not really know what we're going to do next. Apart from that, it's great. So that was the kind of the days we had the Crichton masks on. So, the first day was a bit rough, and as I say, I retired early. But this man, deserves a medal for going through what he does.
Crazy.
Many.
I'm amazed.
Yeah.
I'm amazed he hasn't got. I'm amazed he hasn't got an OBE or an MBE yet.
No, please.
For services to stuntmen.
For services to rubber.
I mean, really.
Fabulous.
Does anyone in show business that you know work harder? I mean, forget movies when you're doing it for like 2 weeks, for 3 weeks. But you can name a character that, other than that guy in Beauty and the Beast, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it's also the technology has moved on, because when Tim Spall was in, he did one episode of Red Dwarf, it was amazing, it's such fun, but he wouldn't come in the makeup room when I was having makeup done, because he couldn't stand the smell, because he'd just done a film where he was dressed, he had a pig face stuck on him. And
What's
the
it?
smell of
Yeah,
it,
that-
it freaked
yeah.
him out, didn't it? Really, he said, I can't do it, I could never do it again. But that was much harder, what he went through. He 8 hours of makeup every day to get this pig snout, and he couldn't eat with that on, because he had a pig snout, so he had to have a straw fed down so he could drink some, it sounded 10 times worse.
Wasn't that Toad Hall or something?
I can't remember what it was that he did. He'd done it just before
From
that.
The Wind in the Willows.
Wind in the Willows.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. That was a while ago as well.
Yeah, it was a long time ago,
Yeah. So talking about outfits, are you ever impressed with just the amount of detail people go into? I've seen some of the dimension jump shots when my friends go there all the time.
Yeah.
And some of the outfits that people wear. Are you ever
Amazing.
impressed with the amount of detail people go into?
Yeah.
Mate,
I mean, there's so many
it's amazing.
costumes here today I've seen that are just extraordinary. I mean, really brilliant stuff. Really well done. The
It's-
two
and-
Shreks, we just did pictures.
Yeah, the
with
Shrek.
The
The two
were
Shreks
just-
are amazing.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, they were sort of movie quality.
The
costumes and
makeup, everything.
Really brilliant.
Very impressive.
Yeah, and the girl was in the wheelchair.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
No, that was
But
fantastic.
yeah, I remember my greatest memory, and it wasn't a Red Dwarf outfit, but I remember being at a convention one, and a family of Klingons, mother, father, and daughter and son, in the most amazing makeup, and they gave me a cassette of how to speak Klingon. And there's a real language. It's really a language. And he gave me a cassette of it, how to speak Klingon.
That's devotion.
And the makeup was amazing.
How did that go? Do you know any Klingon?
I've not, mate. I'm
Klingon's
having trouble with
very rusty.
English.
That was the very first convention I ever went to. It was with Craig in Chicago. And
Yeah,
it
I
in
was
a
at that
very
one.
big hotel.
Yeah, I was at that
And-
one.
And I got in this lift. There was no one in it. I got in the lift and I was going up to floor 106 or something. And then a Klingon came in, who would in his
Oh, I got a
stocking
lift
feet was a black guy of about 6'8", but he had massive platform shoes on, so he had to duck to get in the lift. But he was with a very, very small white woman who was his interpreter, I discovered, on this very long lift ride. And he told me how, in Klingon, that he honoured my efforts and was, wanted to pass his respects to me, but he did it by going, and she would go, oh, he wants to say that he honours your work.
It's true.
And your show. And I was like, oh my God! How long is this lift ride? When are they going to? Yeah, it was quite frightening.
Well, my from the same show, I've got because that was the Hyatt Regency in Chicago, that hotel.
Yeah.
Same hotel, different day, probably the same lift. So I'm in the lift, on my own, sort of going up. I think we were going up to my room after a long day.
Yeah.
And it was just going up, and all of a sudden, ding! But what happened was I'd met a couple of brothers from the hood, that were coming up. Do you remember that? Coming up to my room, right, because we were going to go down to the mall. So anyway, there's about 4 of us in the lift, and all of a sudden there was some guests from the convention, and they walked in, and they looked like the Golden Girls, So you just, excuse me, Mr. John Jules. We know you're off duty, but could we possibly get a photograph? So they're all like this, right? They was just like, what's going on here? They didn't know who I was, so it was just weird that these women came in and started talking to me. So they're all like, no one's moving in the lift, and so they go, thank you, Mr. John Jules, and have a nice day. And they all went out, and those guys were like, who are you, man? Who are you? They just didn't get it. But that's the power of Red Dwarf. And I mean, these women, the last people in the world you'd think that would be Red Dwarf fans.
I clearly missed the Chicago experience.
You did that. You did.
God knows what would have happened if Chris Barry was in the lift. Oh, Ace.
Ace. We actually love
Ace,
you.
oh my God. Mary, get your camera out, honey.
What a guy. People go up to you and go, Mr. Britas.
Mr. Britas, so, of course, yeah, Colin from your part of the world. Yeah.
That's the reason why I love the British Empire. It's just, that's the only voice I can actually do, Mr. Britas. And that's about it.
Excellent.
I try. If you ever want us for a reunion show, just to please Son and do that voice, I am more than available.
You could be Colin's son, couldn't you?
Yeah. It's a Geordie accent.
Although you shouldn't look a bit too sort of, you don't have any sort of sores on you or anything. So
a little bit too
catch
green.
Up a bit.
Well,
you're a bit too healthy.
A little bit too green beret.
Hauling you back to Red Dwarf.
Hauling back to Red Dwarf, dragging you there, kicking and screaming.
Well, you know what? I think I've spoken enough. Do we have any fan questions? Nope, none. Sorry, what a shame. I'm only kidding. I feel bad because I called you the beast next to the bell there, so you know what? You can ask the first question.
Hi. So I recently got my son into Red Dwarf. He did the Netflix experience, but I was a first generation watching it on PPC2. Do you guys really stick to the script during the episodes, or do you improvise quite a little bit?
Word for word script.
It's very, very strictly scripted.
We don't improvise at all. We only improvise. Well, it's not even really improvise. We don't improvise even in rehearsal. It would just be a conversation at the read-through. Someone might think, well, it might put it to Doug.
It certainly contributes to sort of playing with the script if Doug thinks, it needs a little bit of character input. But once it gets to the studio, because of the lighting cues and camera cues, it's got to be
it's got to be regimental,
There's been the odd end line that each of us has sort of, like, as we've run through, that we'll come up with something, some little final little kick. And every now and then you'll do one, and then we'll look around at each other, and then we'll watch Doug, and he goes, yeah. And then quite often it's no.
Not
sometimes, very rarely. Yeah. Keep that in, put that in.
I'm nicking that.
Yeah, I'm nicking that.
Yeah, or better. No, it's not funny, Bobby. It's not funny.
But that is literally one line per series. It's very rare. There have been scenes that we did. There was a scene I did with Craig where there wasn't really a script. It was Crichton saying to Lister when they were in the tank in Series 7 with the Canaries, and all that Crichton had to say was, "You don't know." And I don't know what? You don't know? What don't I know? There was no actual script for that. But that is so unusual. That was the only time I can remember that ever being a
But I did have a massive conversation about that in when I was in Australia, and there was a woman who insisted that we ad-libbed and said it couldn't possibly be a script. And she did walk away not believing that that it wasn't ad-libbed.
Yeah.
And she just walked, no. Yeah.
But there's a lot of rewrites. That's the other thing. When we first read a script, when we first get together, that's about 20% of that ends up on screen. So Doug will rewrite right up to the last minute. He's always rewriting, which is what.
Sometimes you'll get a note in between the take. The audience are in, and the floor manager would come over and whisper in your ear, and say, "Look, Doug said, can you try this line in the next take?" You say that to most actors, mate.
And
they
sometimes
they just pee themselves.
We'll record a scene.
Yeah.
And then he'll rewrite it. Yeah. And we'll record it again.
Record it again.
The new rewritten scene.
He would say, no, it was shit writing. No, we're going to do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's the first person that will, take responsibility if he doesn't think the scene's working. He'll say that it's me writing,
When in fact it was probably us.
It was probably us.
Not
quite understanding it.
Right, keep your hands up if you've got fan questions. Next question here.
Hiya. So next year it's Red Dwarf's 30th birthday. I just wanted to know what should been your favourite moment of filming this whole series.
It'll be what happens next year. That'll be our favourite moment.
That's going to be the favourite moment.
I love your T-shirt as well.
Cool.
Smoke for brains.
Smoke for brains.
I don't know. No, that's the hardest question for us to answer is favourites. Well, I hope it'll be next year that we'll.
One of my favourite moments was kissing Craig.
That was that was extraordinary. I got a little bit excited when I watched.
I think we were both apprehensive about that.
Yeah, but
Craig
you went
and
for
I.
it big time.
But we went for it, and it was one of the longest takes for such a relatively short thing.
No one said cut, so they were just full-on snogging.
Slobbering away on each other.
Slobbering away on each other.
Craig and I both had
Dribbling
sort of
down
half a
each
ton
other's
of
costume.
polo mints beforehand, sort of.
Yeah.
But that was a moment. Yeah, and Ed by eventually went, cut! After what seemed like half an afternoon.
Half an hour, yeah.
Cut! And Craig looked at me and said, that wasn't bad, was it? And I went, no, I think it was rather good, actually.
Hey, it didn't even air.
Yeah, Chris is a good kisser, man.
He's a good kisser, man.
We didn't go that far.
Right, next question just straight ahead here, guys.
I was going to ask about Mr. Fribbles. Have you got any memories about Mr. Fribbles, Chris?
Mr. Flibble. Or Mr. Flibbles, you call him what you want within reason.
Dribble.
He dribble, yes. Not to be confused with others that dibble. Mr. Flibble, yeah, I'm digressing again.
Mr. Fiddle?
Like that. All I remember is being trapped with Flibble behind that screen, and I thought I personally was going mad. I felt like they were going to sort of come along and say, you just stay there, Chris. We're going for lunch. We'll bring you something back.
It was bizarre, actually, being on the other side of the glass as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Because we didn't know who actually was in captivity. At some point, is it us that's
I can't even remember. It's so confusing. Yeah.
Yeah, I really, it was an interesting episode, that. I would never say sort of best, but it was... all that potato people thing actually really did turn my head a bit, really. But the gingham dress and all that, it was...
But you also had to play it. That would drive you mad.
I played it slightly mad, didn't I?
Yes.
Looking in the mid-distance, sort of Mr. Flibbles, very cross, and eyes. All
Yes,
that sort of
yes,
stuff.
yes.
Yeah,
But it's one of those things that at the time, none of us had any idea that 10, 15 or 20 years later...
We'd be talking about
we'd
it.
see lots of Mr. Flibbles,
It's crazy.
It was a really short bit of our day, wasn't it?
It really
like
was,
the whole
yeah.
thing was built around Mr. Flibble. It became very popular.
Again, it was, the performance of the moment.
I mean, the Flibble scene took about several hours to shoot, which is not much in the scheme of things, but the Craig and me kissing seemed longer. And yet that was probably 7 seconds.
Yeah.
Now, I've got two final questions before I let you escape. Now, the first one is, what's it like to be pop stars and having music videos for Tongue Tied? What's that like?
Well, it just came out about, again, it was young kids writing, asking where they could get a copy of the song from. And I sort of, kindly, I did have the song on recorded, so I made a couple of cassettes and sent it to them, and then the letters kept coming. I'm like, oh, well, hold on a minute. I'm not going to send a cassette out every time someone asks for this. I realised that this is, going to become very expensive. So that's when I approached the guys, and say, look, I'm getting all these letters, and should we try and do a song? And everyone agreed, and that's how it came about, pretty much. And funny enough, Red Dwarf is 30 next year. Tongue Tied will be 25.
Wow.
The actual, not the song. The song itself in the show is older.
It's older,
but
yeah.
the single is going to be 25 years. So there could be a big bash, maybe a remix.
Would we like a remix of Tongue Tied? I don't know about you, but if I'm ever feeling a bit low, it's one of those videos and songs you just sit and you're smiling all the way through.
But I might do Little Fishy.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna get you, little fishy.
Yeah, so I'll do the in homage to the Tongue Tied 25 years, and then smash out the thrash metal version of Little Fishy.
That could work.
I've already got the backing track. I'm gonna get you, little fishy. It's just like, it sounds just like that.
Yeah, it works.
It sounds just like that.
Do you ever go into a restaurant and when they say what you want, you go, fish! Fish!
Yeah.
Fish!
But
and just do that.
When I do that for real though, when I do really want the fish, they look at me funny. Like I'm joking. No, I really do want the fish. And then I have to say it 5 times like the show because they don't believe me. Yeah, no, the fish. Yeah, no, yeah, the fish. So I still end up doing it 5 times anyway.
And the final thing I want to ask is, I read that you're possibly going to do a tour very soon, maybe next year, because the quote I read is because you're getting on a bit.